Hey Aries, welcome to the channel. Sarah here. Thank you for joining me. Today we are going to do your reading for the second week of May 2025. Keep in mind that this is just a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with you. Thank you for liking and sharing my videos and also for subscribing. If you're interested in having a personal reading done by me, the information on how to obtain that is in the description box below this video. Let's begin. All right, so I'm going to try and flip these cards that I'm doing right now in the first portion of your reading off camera because some of these have to be censored. I haven't gotten any yet that need to be censored quite for your reading, but oh yeah, I just got the first one. Got to be very, very careful about what we show on camera here. And the final. All right. All right, Aries. So the first portion of your reading, the cards that we have pulled are illness, wellness, victim, mystery, anger and rage, cycles, boundaries, embracing the shadow, and grief. And the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading are rhythms. Okay? So there is something that is ebbing and flowing, with rhythm being the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading. Rhythm is the fifth principle of natural law, the principle of rhythm, which denotes something to do with an ebb and flow in your life. This may be something that you are repeating. So Aries, what I'm seeing here is a cycle that is being repeated. And what it seems to be denoting this lack of boundary setting. And as a result of not setting appropriate boundaries, you're putting yourself in a position potentially to be victimized. Or at least you've identified as victim. Somebody is taking advantage of you, is what it looks like, as a result of proper boundaries not being set. And so, and it does look like this is a repeated cycle. We do see the rhythms card as being the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading. And now I'm also seeing this cycles card, which would denote something to do with a cycle that continues to repeat itself. As you can see, she's holding a circle in her hand, and you can see based on the movement of the waves around her hand movement that this continues to go on and on and on. And it looks like it's keeping you in a state of illness here. So what I'm seeing here is there's some sort of, you're experiencing some emotional derailment here with the anger and rage card. There's something that's throwing you off kilt, and honestly, it looks like there's something that you may have a legitimate reason for being upset about. But it almost looks like you're confused as to what it is that's causing this in your life. What is it that's causing you to feel this way? And so it looks like there's going to be, like when I see the embracing the shadow card, I see forgiveness. In the sense that if there is somebody in your life that you feel is taking advantage of you or mistreating you in some way, you will be able to come to a place of forgiveness towards this situation or this person on the contingency that you're able to see what it is that you are doing that is enabling this situation to go on. And it does look like it's pertaining to something to do with boundaries, because it's almost like what's happening here is like you're not understanding what it is that is throwing you off. And then you start to feel guilty or badly about what it is that threw you off in the first place. And you may even be apologetic, and Spirit is trying to tell you that your feelings are valid, You are validated in feeling the way that you're feeling, if this resonates with you at all. But the problem is that this continues to happen because of a lack of boundaries being set. So for the second, we're going to do the second portion of your reading now, where we're going to pull another layer. Can we get another layer here, Spirit? This deck is a little bit more camera friendly, so I can show this one as I pull the card. Oh, this one just jumped out. Okay. All right. All right. So Aries, the second layer of your reading, we've got Treasure Island, Mending, Imagine, Between Worlds, Higher Power, TikTok, Co-Create, Flexible, and the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading is why? Why? And that's what I was seeing in the first part of your reading. There was some sort of like lack of clarity, or almost we saw them. It was actually labeled mystery. The card was mystery, almost like, and based on the surrounding energies of mystery, it looked like there was something that was causing you to feel some level of emotional derailment. Could actually be anger, rage, and it's almost like you're not even sure as to why it is that you're getting yourself caught up in these energies. And so this portion of your reading is going to answer that. Okay, so when I see flexible as your last card, and where the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading is why, we're answering the question why. Why is it that we are in this rhythm? Why are we in this flow? Why are we repeating cycles? And flexible, often to me, especially in this deck, I've seen it often show up as somebody who bends over backwards, and especially seeing what I had seen earlier with me, I had picked up on there was a lack of boundary setting for you that is getting you upset, like almost like you're putting yourself in the perfect line of fire to be victimized because you're being too flexible here. So what I'm seeing here is that there is a higher power reason as to why this is, that you're going through this. This is something that you're meant to be making better with the Mending card. And whatever this is going to get you in alignment with a more abundant and bountiful life in time. It does look, though, like because of the fact that you're not really... what I'm seeing here is that, like I had seen earlier in the first portion of your reading, was that there was something that you're not... there's like some sort of mystery, almost like you're not understanding what it is that you're doing that is creating this energy. And so as a result of this, you're going to just continue, even if you, whatever, and we're going to get into the tarot in a second, which will give us a more in-depth look as to why this is happening, or what it is that you're dealing with in your 3D reality that is causing you to have to come to terms with this part of yourself. Because it does look, especially with Imagine being on top of that card, the mystery card, there's something that you're not seeing clearly here that's keeping you from obtaining what it is that you're actually co-creating something here with the universe. And it does look like you can be moving towards something better for yourself, but you're stuck in between worlds because of this specific energy. So let's pull out the third portion of your reading. The third layer. Can we get the third layer for Aries, please? Third layer for Aries. Yeah, okay. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. All right. So for the third portion of your reading, we've got the Justice, we've got the Four of Cups, we've got the Five of Swords in reverse, we've got the Lovers, we've got the Six of Swords, the Page of Swords in reverse, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Pentacles. And the overall arching theme of this portion is the Five of Cups in reverse. So the Five of Cups in reverse would suggest getting over some sort of disappointment or grief here. Okay, so I'm going to say that this portion of your reading can be read in more than one way, and because this is a general reading, I am going to read it in two different ways. So what I'm seeing here is that in order to, what it looks like to keep the peace or to get yourself to a place of peace and do what is right, you may need to move on from some sort of energy that you've been dealing with here. Because Spirit is saying that it might be in your best interest to give up the need to win a fight here. Because there is some sort of misinformation, and that is why you are showing there's something that you're not totally clear on, is what I was getting in the first two portions of your reading, as to what it is that's causing some sort of emotional derailment in you. And so it might be the most intuitive thing for you to do to kind of keep your distance, keep silent in order to build on yourself. Make that choice to build on yourself. For others of you, it's showing up, and the reason why I'm going to mention this is because I saw boundaries. Like I'm really getting a sense that somebody isn't setting boundaries or appropriate boundaries, and they're kind of allowing, like almost like you're in order to keep the peace in a connection right now, you're going to give up the need to win a fight, which, I mean, it's best to not really put yourself in a position where you are fighting, obviously, because then you're kind of blocking your blessings, and that's kind of what is going to happen if you're stuck in this state of major negativity. But what I'm getting here is that if we're not setting boundaries and we're just something is happening where because we did see the victim card too, something is happening where you are potentially being legitimately, I'm not saying that it's okay to take on victim mentality, but if we don't love ourselves enough to put up boundaries, you are technically putting yourself in a position to be victimized here. And if you're being too laissez-faire and too passive, you are putting yourself in a position where we're repeating this cycle, right? Where there's this anger, there's this rage, there's this emotional derailment that's being caused, and like Spirit said, there is some sort of there's something valid. Your emotions are a compass. They're telling you something. The reason why we have the emotions that we have is because it's our compass. It's telling us whether the direction we're heading towards is right or whether it is wrong. And if you're feeling that imbalanced, it's because there is something wrong here. And it does look like you are putting in a lot of work to try and make this connection work. And it looks like it's at the risk of your own wellness, your own inner wellness and your own sanity, essentially. Let's get the fourth layer of your reading out. For Aries, what is the fourth layer? Okay, so for the fourth layer of your reading, we've got sudden wealth, we've got main person, which is showing up as a feminine, but of course this is a general reading, so please don't get too hung up on the genders. I am seeing main person. I'm seeing compass, clock, tower, which I have to state that the Lenormand tower and the Tower of the Tarot are not the same. As you can see, this tower stands tall and strong. Very different tower. It means stability. We've got the wedding ring. We've got the letter, message, document, and bear. And the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading is the broom, which is, in some decks, it's called the whip. It has to do with punishment. So there's something that feels very punishing, and that's probably why the victim card came up in the first part of your reading. So Aries, what I'm seeing here is it does look like something is happening suddenly. It's showing up. The card is sudden wealth. It doesn't necessarily mean like money or material wealth. It could mean emotional wealth. But something is happening suddenly, and it looks like it's pertaining to the stability of a committed connection here. It does look like somebody is changing direction here, and it's likely you. What's showing up in the first several portions of your reading here is that there is something in yourself that needs to be transformed or changed here, and it does look like something is going to change, and it's going to be initiated through some level of communication with the letter card. In time, it does look, though, like it's showing up that there is going to be a period of time in this energy, because it looks like you're trying to protect it, is what I'm seeing here with the bear. Like you've got, what I'm seeing here, Aries, is it's almost as if you've got a very protective energy over the energy that has got you so emotionally derailed here. And so it may take a period of time before you just decide to make the change you need to make in order to come to terms with what it is that you need to do in order to make the changes you need to make. All right, so this gold deck that I'm going to use on the next portion of your reading, I use it as almost like a 3D advice, like advice for the 3D world is how I see it. So let's get the next layer out. Okay, so this portion of your reading, we've got taking steps, illumination, brilliance, wisdom, looking, prickly situation, rewards, education, and the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading is power position. So you are in the power position. Well, of course, you're Aries, right? Aries is the Emperor. I guess this would be the equivalent in this deck of the Emperor card. But it does show up here, Aries, that it may be in your... it may be part of your calling to kind of step into your sovereignty here. Because there is something that's showing up, if this reading is connecting to you, it's showing up that there's been almost like a compromising of your integrity for some of you, because you're in, it looks like this could be, it was showing up as a repeated cycle, so this could be showing up in other areas of your life. It may not even just be romance, or it may not even be romance. This could be a family connection. This could be at work. If you look at the second principle of natural law, which is correspondence, it is going to show, if you are dealing with something that's deep seated in yourself that needs to change, it's likely showing up in other aspects or other components of your life. So it's something that you're likely going to have to come to terms with at some point if you want life to become more smooth for you. So, what I'm seeing here, Aries, is that you're going to be taking steps to look for a solution out of this prickly situation, or at least this is kind of what your advice is, to take the steps to look for the solutions in order to get out of this difficult situation you find yourself in, and this could be a repeated pattern in your life. And whatever this is going to illuminate you to your brilliance. There's something in you that is completely brilliant, and you will be rewarded for getting in touch with this part of yourself. It could be spiritual rewards, it could be emotional rewards, it could be monetary rewards. It just looks like you've got rewards coming to you. There's some sort of abundance that is going to be had as a result of tapping into this brilliance that is going to lead you to a certain level of wisdom. Like there's some sort of higher wisdom that is gained in you understanding something about the situation. And Spirit is saying that it is pertaining to something to do with a lack of boundary setting that is eventually kind of setting you off and putting you in this really emotionally derailed state. It does look like you may actually be in a position where you may start educating other people who are going through the same thing, because this, whatever it is that you're going through, Aries, is potentially a collective issue. I mean, there are a lot of things that we are conditioned to on a collective level that kind of has us all really offset on where we need to be spiritually. So there may be something that you're going to come to terms with regard to what it is that you need to know about yourself, that's going to tap you into a brilliance that's going to bring you towards the rewards that you are heading towards. And it does look like you may educate somebody on this. Or you may be receiving further education on this. All right, so we're going to channel angel guidance. This is more of our 5D advice for Aries. Oh, this one just jumps out. Okay. Okay, so Aries, this portion of your reading, we've got trust, meditation brings answers, in the near future, helpful people, ask for help from others, take action, choose a new direction, and recovery. And the overall arching theme of this portion of your reading is no! Exclamation point. They're really pushing that with the exclamation point. So we've got no as the overall arching theme. Okay, so I'm seeing trust. So you need to put yourself into a state of trusting the universe. In order to obtain that, sometimes it gets us, if we do some level of meditation, it can get us into that. I'm going to recommend a book called Think on These Things by Jiddu Krishnamurti. It was an amazing manual on how to understand how meditation truly works. I'm a Gemini, so I feel like I needed it because my mind is always going. So if you, I feel like it's a great manual. I'm not going to get into how meditation works. Obviously, if you've done it, you know how to do it. If not, that's a great manual. Get that one. I felt like it was a very logical way of understanding how our thought processes work and meditation and how to align with that. But if you can get into meditation and trust, it'll get you into this energy of trusting. You may get the answers you need to enable you to ask for help from others. There are other energies, and when I see ask for help from others, I'm seeing other people who are in your everyday life. And doing this is going to enable you to take the action you need to take in order to choose a new direction. And this may all be occurring in the near future. You will notice that these people that you've asked for help from will be very, very helpful in your recovery, in your overall recovery, and how to overcome the issues that you are experiencing. And it looks like I said, it shows up very clearly that there's some sort of cycle. This may have been something that you've been going through. You may be conditioned to this from very, very early on in life. I didn't see the child come out, so this may not be a childhood thing, but either way, this is something that you're cycling through right now, and Spirit is saying that it could be potentially because you're not setting an appropriate boundary when you need to. So your emotional derailment is valid, but we can get ourselves out of that energy as well. Because when we're in that energy, of course, the law of attraction, if you want to call it that, I don't really like using that terminology because I feel like it's more, sophisticated than that. But if you look at the 7 principles of Hermeticism, natural law, that is alchemy, and that is what will, if you can master that, that'll get you in line with what it is you need to be in line with in order to attract what you want. So we've got trust here. Trust that you are taking the steps that you need to take in order to receive the sudden wealth of whatever it is that you deserve. It is showing up that you deserve it. There's something that you are justified in receiving. We've got some sort of treasure here, Treasure Island. This is all about abundance. This is all about receiving something after having been through a period of illness, and it's going to bring you back to a place of wellness here. So meditation is what's going to help bring the answers towards your illumination. Something's going to become illuminated for you. We do see you, main person. This could be you. This could be somebody you're dealing with too. It does look like you may have to detach from something here. There is a detachment energy here with the 4 of Cups in order to heal and mend something in your life here, because you have been in this. It's showing up as victim. Like there's something that you are getting yourself aligned with that is actually victimizing you right now. So we need to ask for help from others. And you may need to look for this. There may be people out there that are willing to help you. You just need to keep your eyes open and keep looking, because whatever this is going to bring a certain level of stability into your life so that you can move on to calmer waters, because things have been very, very turbulent for you. It does look like for some of you, this is being guided by some sort of higher power. So it is a higher power, and you're meant to understand something about what it is that you've been cycling through, what it is that you've been repeating, so that we can get in touch with how to get over it. So Spirit is saying you've got to take some action here to get out of this really difficult, prickly situation. It may be something that you feel very committed to with the ring. You may be in a marriage, some of you. It doesn't have to be, though. It's showing up as a very strong commitment, where there's been some sort of misinformation here with the Page of Swords in reverse. And it does look like it's just a matter of time. We've got TikTok here, where your boundaries are going to... So Spirit is saying you need to take action to set your boundaries. This is a very strong message throughout the entire reading. So we need to choose a new direction here in order to obtain rewards. You are going to be communicating potentially with helpful people, new people here. If you're following your higher guidance, we do have the High Priestess in the upright here. So we did see that meditation is going to bring you answers. I'm telling you, that spirit, that intuitive voice is very helpful when you can truly get in touch with it. And you'll be able to put yourself into a position where you're co-creating with the universe to get yourself, because once you're in that really healthy state, now your blessings are in perfect alignment to come straight towards you. You're not blocking them anymore with that really unhealthy energy, because you've been able to embrace your shadow. And like I said, part of embracing the shadow has to do with forgiveness. So it's showing up that in the near future, you are going to tap into your brilliance here. Once you've changed direction, there's something you need to change direction on. There's something you need to do differently. And it has something to do with setting boundaries. And what I'm also seeing here is you may need to give up the need to win a fight, you know? Whatever it is that's putting you in that state of emotional derailment, you just might have to learn to give it up, because there's something that you're really unclear on. With Imagine and Mystery together, there's been something that has been unclear to you that once you get out of that energy, it is going to start becoming crystal clear to you. You're going to start understanding, aha, this is why my life has been the way it has been. I needed to start living in my own power, in my own ability to set boundaries. Boundaries is what's showing up here. So we've got helpful people. There are helpful people around is what's showing up, which are going to enable you to tap into your wisdom. And this is going to take some time with the clock. It does look like it has to do with a love connection or love relationships, or it may just have something to do with making new choices here with the lovers, because you're going to be in between worlds here. There's still this, once you get into this state of having made connection with these helpful people, you're going to be in between worlds where you're going to start to have an understanding as to why this love connection is enabling you to feel this emotional derailment. It's showing up as anger and rage. So you may be feeling that in this. It looks like it's for a lot of you, this is a committed relationship or love connection. Okay. And so you have the potential to recover from this and truly heal. And it's through education. You're going to learn something. It does look like there's something you're going to learn about trying to protect this. There's some sort of, I'm almost getting like, for a lot of you, like whether you're a masculine or a feminine, you are really almost taking whoever this is that's putting you in this position under your wing. Like you're protecting them, mothering them, nurturing them, and they're really setting you off, because it's almost like they see you as somebody who they can take advantage of here. So you're going to be working hard on rebuilding yourself, and it does look like, yeah, that's exactly it. You've been too flexible. There's something you're going to educate yourself on about your lack of boundary setting, but bending over backwards for this energy that is causing you nothing but grief. You might actually, honestly, if this is somebody who you love a lot, there may be a certain level of grief, either felt by you or by them, in your having to heal through this. Grief is showing up as the last card here, so we do have to pay attention to that. But Spirit is saying that right now you are not doing with no. I'm seeing like no, wrong. There's been something that you've been doing wrong that has got you in this really unhealthy energy, and you are in the power position to make the change, to get yourself out of what feels like absolute punishment. And you can overcome this grief with the Five of Cups in reverse. Once you find out why it is that you are repeating these cycles and getting yourself into the ebb and flow of the rhythms that you've been getting yourself involved in here, So, Aries, that is your reading for the second half of May 2025. Again, thank you so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. And until I read you again, take care and bless.